freaking awesome.
Yeah, that means we could start looking for places to lease for yoga.
But the environment I come from, we keep our hands to ourselves.
So I can't do this?
So what I'm gonna tell you is, stop. You gonna try to get a wreck?
That right there is how that scene happened in Bilal's mind. We are dealing with an all-star cast this season. I don't even know where to begin. So for some reason, we're going to start with Bilal. I hope that's okay. If it's not, I'm going to put a timestamp on the screen right here to know what point to fast forward to. But we might end up talking about Ed and Angela as well, so you might want to skip those. You know, in fact, why don't you just go ahead and skip the whole video? Or maybe I could do like a choose your own adventure 90-day video. You get to a point and you go to this timestamp if you want to meet up with Angela at a restaurant, and you go to this timestamp if you just want to run for your life and hope for the best. Anyway, let's see what's going on with everyone's favorite 90-day guy, Bilal. Just a big bundle of joy, a big ball of joy.
What do you think about us doing something like yoga?
Yoga.
So Bilal's wife Shaeeda wants to have kids, but Bilal does not, and his solution to this problem is to just avoid talking about this forever. Every time the subject comes up, he just drops a smoke grenade on the ground and disappears like Batman. But now it's gotten to a point where he can no longer ignore it. Shaeeda wants to go to a fertility clinic to see what her chances of getting pregnant are, so she has to drag Bilal there kicking and screaming.
Today we have an appointment at Dr. Morales' office to get the results for the anti-Malarian hormone test. And that's the test that will determine how many egg cells I have left. I'm aiming for the doctors to give me good news.
We are not trying to have any children, 0%.
It's crazy. They're going here hoping for the opposite results. She really wants to have children, and he's hoping that they're going to find out that she can't. I think I might have even seen him slip the doctor a 50 just to say that.
Good?
I'm nauseous.
Nauseous?
Mm-hmm. Just real nervous.
Nerves.
I love how he never knows what to say to comfort her. He just repeats what she said. Oh, nervous? Nerves. Yeah, nerves. That sucks. It sucks that you're nervous. I would work on not being nervous if I were you.
We did the blood work, and I talked to you the other day about the AMH, or the anti-Malarian hormone. It's testing the amount of eggs that you have left to be fertilized.
Okay.
Bilal's over here like, come on, just say it already. Just say it. She's too old to have kids. It's not possible. Please, anything. I'll do anything. I think he's trying to focus really hard to do a Jedi mind trick on the guy. You're not going to get out of this one, Bilal. You're going to have a kid whether you like it or not.
We did the blood work, and I talked to you the other day about the AMH, or the anti-Malarian hormone. It's testing the amount of eggs that you have left to be fertilized.
Okay.
But the test that we did on you did come back saying that your ovarian reserve is low.
So the doctor is saying that they may be somewhat limited on time here, and they should try to start having kids sooner rather than later. And no joke, Bilal's response to that was, so I think what you're saying is we should probably wait a few years. He actually said that. And then I realized, wow, this guy actually thinks he's a Jedi.
At the age of 40, you have about a 5% chance every cycle to get pregnant. So
5 seems very low.
And your chances will decrease as you get older more sooner than somebody else. So
they have complete opposite reactions. Trust me, Bilal is celebrating on the inside right now. But it's a good thing that in their prenup, they included some kind of kid contract or something so that they have to start having kids before she turns 40. But my guess is Bilal's just going to wait until like the day before that, just so he can technically say that they tried before she turned 40. So in the next scene we're going to look at, Shaeeda was finally approved for her work visa, and she wants to open up a yoga studio.
In the prenup, there's a clause that says Bilal is responsible for helping me start my business here in Kansas City. It's important for me because I still want to figure out how to be more independent here in America.
Okay, so I forget if she said that Bilal told her this, but she thinks if she has her own career, it'll be more likely that Bilal will want to have children because then they'll have 2 sources of income. So now she has limited time to get her career going and get all that together before they have kids. It's like Bilal's giving her some side quests before the main one. He's like, listen, I'd be open to having kids, maybe, you know, if you were on the same level as I am. You got to gain more experience. You need more XP. You know, you haven't unlocked this part yet.
There's like a sign God saying, let Bilal hurry up and get you that yoga studio you guys put in the prenup.
Why does he always seem uncomfortable, even when she's talking about things that are good and things that should make him happy? He's like very awkward. I think it's because he knows that everything she's doing is an attempt to get one step closer to having children, and he's just trying to, you know, take a step back every time she does that.
You know, the yoga studio, there's things you have to do prior to just getting a building, baby. Like, one,
You don't just go buy a building. These things take time. You don't just go open a studio. You don't just walk in and start working. It doesn't work like that. Well, I kind of figured it was going to be a little more than just that. Now listen carefully, because I have a few things you should add to your quest log. 1, yoga is a conspiracy and nobody should do it. 2, buildings are very expensive, but what's even more expensive? Having a building and a baby. You can't really have both. You only get one or the other. Now pick one of the B's. Do you want a baby or do you want a building?
you need to start marketing because, no one knows you here in the city, We can get you a bank account, take you to the bank, get your bank account, set that up, all those different things. So credit.
Here, you know what? Why don't you sit down? I have a whole seminar that I prepared on PowerPoint this morning while you were doing yoga. I think it's very important that I get my 2 hours of lecture time every day, and I would appreciate if you would listen.
Right? Right now, you don't have credit. In America, having good credit is really, really important. But I just want to let you know, though, there's steps we got to do before we get a yoga studio.
I really, really hope you're paying attention, because after this, there's going to be a quiz, so you better be writing this stuff down. I know that in Bilal's mind, he's just trying to be helpful, but it just seems condescending. Of course, there is a way to talk about this stuff and to be helpful if somebody doesn't know, but I feel like he's always under the assumption that he knows and she doesn't, as if everybody's just a clueless infant until they move here to America.
I don't have, any say-so over, her business. The way she wants to do it, that's her style. But she has a huge learning curve when it comes to just growing and developing and starting a business.
So he claims that he's just going to let her do her own thing and not have any say in it. But come on, we all know that Bilal's going to be there every step of the way to cram his opinion.
She's still new to the country, and dealing in business is much different in Trinidad versus here in America.
Oh yeah, I forgot. She even had her own business in her country. And Bilal says that running a business in America is different, which I'm sure it is, but if you haven't lived in both countries, how exactly will you know the ways that it's different?
I don't have any say-so over her business. I'm just going to tell you right now, from a business standpoint.
Listen, your business is your business, but I'm just saying I have a business standpoint. I know how to run a business, so I'm going to make it my business to run your business.
I just don't want you to be getting upset if you see something you really like, and then you kind of get your heart set
Why does it sound like he's lecturing a child about not wanting to buy everything they see in a toy store? And also, do kids still go to toy stores? Do any toy stores even exist anymore?
This is the building, this was right.
Everything that you said will come into place. I just want to see,
Listen, if you get these side quests done, then we can move along with the building a lot faster. I partially understand why he's worried that she might get her hopes up about a certain location, but also, as long as you're being realistic, there's no harm in just checking out a location. Honestly, I think he just wants to move at a snail's pace with everything, and it's all because he just wants to push the kids thing off as long as possible.
I know Bilal thinks he's being helpful, but he's starting to make me feel like an infant.
That's crazy. That's exactly what I said earlier. I don't even remember her saying that either. I just got to that part and I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty much what I thought too.
He has been telling me to hold off my business plans because I didn't have a work permit. But now that I finally have one, Bilal keeps talking about all these obstacles that I have in my way.
That's the thing, is with this guy, there's always going to be a reason or an excuse not to do something. Even if she gets her business up and running and it's doing really well, he's still going to have some sort of reason or excuse not to have children. And he's the most indirect guy on the planet because he knows that if he straight up tells her the truth, she's probably not going to be with him anymore.
He doesn't want me to start my yoga business in KC. What does Bilal expect me to do? Clean the house all day?
Well, you don't have to clean it all day, but most of the day, yeah. So with all this drama going on, Bilal just wanted to get away from everything, so he planned a nice little vacation for them to go to New York City, which completely backfired because she thought everything was all romantic, and she's like, let's start a family here, Bilal, let's have babies. And then they go to meet up with her best friend, whose name is Uterus. It's a little on the nose, don't you think? I guess Bilal's logic was, okay, I need to get away from all this baby talk and all this family talk. Let's go to the most romantic location I can think of and meet up with her friend Uterus so she can ask us about our relationship. I'm kidding, of course. Her friend's name is actually Uterus. It's just, given the context, it's kind of funny. I wouldn't have noticed that otherwise. It's a nice name.
We're in New York. We're having dinner with Shaeeda's friend Uterus, and she's coming out of the gate just so aggressive and just, rude. And
it's funny that he says this because Bilal's ex-wife was really rude and aggressive towards Shaeeda, and he didn't really step in and defend her. He just kind of sat there. In fact, afterwards, I think he even blamed her for it, but when someone's aggressive towards him, oh no. I forget exactly what started this because the beginning of the conversation isn't in this clip, but I think she just asked them about their relationship, and, it might have been a little bit aggressive or too early on in the conversation.
The feeling that I have right now is Uterus seems like she doesn't like me very well.
Go ahead and take a guess. After this conversation, do you think that Bilal is going to show what a good guy he is and that she's going to like him? Or do you think he's just going to make everything worse? Bilal is not aggressive. He is the most passive-aggressive person I've ever seen. When someone else is being passive-aggressive, he sees that as a challenge and tries to outdo them.
This is comical for me, like very comical.
But I don't think we should be so presumptuous.
Sounds like you're, what's the word they say in London?
I don't know. What are you trying to say?
What's the word is it? Oh, nosy.
How dare you ask about our relationship? We like to keep things private. That's why we're on a reality TV show. I mean, the appetizers haven't even come yet. You don't ask about our relationship before the appetizers.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Really? You think
Is that
it's
it?
snotty?
Ooh, I didn't say that, but you said it. That's interesting. Ooh.
What is Bilal doing? What the heck is this? He was trying to think of a word they use in London, and then he used a word that everyone here uses. Everybody was confused, and she's like, oh, do you mean this word instead? Is that what you think I am? And he's like, oh, shit, I didn't say it. I didn't say it. You see that, waiter? Waiter, everybody? Everybody, I did not say that. She said it. And then Shaeeda and her friend are like, I don't even know what's happening anymore. I'm very confused.
So you think basically I'm putting my nose where it's not meant to be? About my best friend?
About your best friend?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing.
Anybody want crackers?
If I
crackers, that's really good.
Get those crackers out of here. We're in the middle of something. Shaeeda, do you hear the way your friend is talking to me right now? I am a Jedi Master, and I demand some respect.
I would say something if I intend on saying it.
Wow, that's some very profound stuff from Bilal this episode. All right, so I think that's it for these two. Let's move on to somebody else. The Jenny and Sumit situation is starting to get pretty intense. For those who don't watch the show, this is the couple whose love transcended catfishing. This all started off with him catfishing her, and then I guess when she realized who he actually was, or he admitted who he actually was, she thought, it's still a young guy. I might as well go live with him. Well, now they're married, and hey, what do you know? They want two completely different things out of life. After their honeymoon, Sumit started working all the time, so Jenny is left in the house just by herself to do nothing. She had lived in India with him for a few years off and on, but she had actually never gone out on her own. So in this clip, she has to do the grocery shopping by herself for the first time.
Even though I've lived here for almost 3 years, it's intimidating for me here in India as a white woman to be out by myself and trying to go to the market, being stared at a lot. So I hope Sumit doesn't expect me to do this every day because I can't do that.
It also doesn't really help if you have a camera crew following you around. And it sounds like she doesn't want to go out and do things on her own ever, like at all. It's something she absolutely wants to avoid, yet Sumit is working 7 days a week now.
Hello?
Hello?
A basket?
Yeah?
Can I put in same basket?
No, ma'am. No. There is no. No, I will not give you the half kg. The full kg you have to buy.
How's that?
Wow, her first time out on her own is off to a great start. As usual, there's some people in the background just hanging out watching this, and out of all the places she could go to, she picks somebody who's clearly trying to take advantage of her.
Ma'am, I will not give you the one piece. Take it more.
What if I don't want more?
Then what can I do?
What am I supposed to do then if you don't want the broccoli? You know, how am I supposed to run a business if you don't buy all the broccoli? I spoke to Bilal earlier, and he knows a lot about running a business from a business standpoint, so I think I know what I'm doing. Now buy the damn broccoli.
How much is it?
1,020.
Oh, trust me, it's worth it. This broccoli is gonna blow you away. It's out of this world. You'll be telling your friends. You'll be saying, hey, this place around the corner, it has the best broccoli. Everyone loves the broccoli. People rave about it.
Okay, well, I'm not paying 1,000 rupees, so.
Ma'am, okay, ma'am, okay. Suniye, ma'am, suniye, okay. 1,100.
What?
It's good that Jenny at least realized this is way overpriced and she just walked away from the whole thing. But now she has nothing to feed to Sumit when he gets home. So, I don't know what she's gonna do. Her plan was to just take a stalk of broccoli and put it on a plate and hand it to him.
When I gave up everything to be with Sumit in India, I thought he would be by my side. Honestly, if this is how Sumit wants our married life to be like, I'd rather be home in America.
I don't really understand. Does she expect him to actually be at her side at all times? That's impossible. He has to work at some point. And I know he's working quite a lot, and of course there's things we're not seeing. Maybe he's hanging out with friends and partying too much, because she did kind of hint at that at one point. But when she says, oh, I hope this isn't how our marriage is, I hope he doesn't always expect this. Expect what? Just to go out and buy a hunk of broccoli every so often? Is she saying that she never expected to ever have to go out on her own? phone. So luckily, Jenny did end up finding some vegetables at a better price, and then she went home and threw a potato into a pan. And then Sumit came home and he's like, hey, what's for dinner? And she goes, I don't know, I thought I could just mash a potato and we could just eat that. And then Sumit's eyes started to twitch a lot, and I thought he might pass out. So yeah, that's pretty much all that's happened with these two lately. Oh yeah, Sumit also broke his stomach. That is something that apparently that happened. I don't know. All right, so I've saved the best for last. Let's see what these two lovebirds are up to. What are these two crazy kids doing now? And guess what? Kim finally popped the question. Can you believe it? She put on her good red shirt. She got the hotel looking all nice and special. She had the PS5 all hooked up for Sumit. It was incredibly romantic.
Babe?
Come in here.
Young love. It warms my heart. It makes me so happy.
Wow. Oh my God, babe.
Hi.
What's going on here?
Come in here and have a seat. Do you love it?
Yes, I do.
What do you think this is for?
You finally got me a Nintendo Switch. Oh, yes, no way. No way. I'm so excited, Kimberly. I love you so much. I'm going to invite Badmiss over. We're going to play Mario Kart. It's going to be sick.
Will you marry me?
Babe. Babe.
Regardless of anything that happens, I want you to know that I'm always going to be here. I'm not going anywhere.
Regardless of anything that happens. That's quite a statement there, Kimberly. But believe it or not, this is all a very calculated decision and has very little to do with love. I know that's hard to believe. But here's what's going on. Usman has an arranged meeting tomorrow with someone who might be his potential wife. So Kimberly wants to make sure there's a ring on his finger when he shows up to that meeting. How do I know this? Well, let's keep watching.
I'm ready to marry you. Tell him. I never expected this. And I'll repeat and say yes, 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 yes.
Uh-oh. Oh, it doesn't fit.
Oh no, the ring doesn't fit. What is she gonna do? Usman's potential wife isn't gonna know that a 50-year-old woman just got engaged to him the day before.
Okay, because guess what? You know how I do things. Because I wasn't sure. This one better fit.
She bought the dude a backup ring, just in case the first one didn't fit, and I can guarantee you that's the reason. Imagine if the second one didn't fit too, and she just tries to jam it on there, and she's like hurting him. Kimberly, stop. It's okay. We'll get a ring some other time. No. It's really, really important to me that you wear this ring. Or if you're not going to wear the ring, at least wear this t-shirt that I had made with a picture of me on the front of it holding both rings. I brought them in every size I could possibly get, and I packed them in this vacuum-sealed armored briefcase just in case anything happened to him. And if that doesn't work out, I also...
We're ready for the fiancé visa.
Yes, that's what we're calling for, because I leave tomorrow. So, what are the next steps for the fiancé visa?
All right, so Usman did go to that meeting with someone who was way too young for him. I hope he doesn't drag that girl into this mess. And of course, he didn't wear the ring because it's not in his culture. So that was like a nice little loophole to get out of that. So now in this scene, they're trying to find out about the 90-day visa. And it turns out that might be a problem if you're going to be married to multiple people.
Number 3, Kimberly must allow Usman to marry a young lady in the future to enable to have children. And then we have witnesses. Look, we had to sign it.
Well, there's a law against polygamy. I don't know if you guys know that.
So it sounds like they didn't think this through at all. Can you imagine that's the thing that ends all of this? Oh well, at least Kim got some pretty cool Soulja Boy merch out of it. Alright, I think that's gonna do it for this video. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Sorry to make you suffer through all the parts with Bilal. Also, just another reminder, if you watch this show and you enjoy these videos, you might be interested in the podcast. And I want to say thanks to everybody who has listened so far or left a review, or just anybody who watches these videos too. I hope you all have a great rest of your week and wonderful Thanksgiving for those who celebrate it. I will see you all in the next video, which might contain some Big Ed and Angela, unfortunately.
Gave my goddamn all. I am real for you. You're fake to me, man. That's heart breaking.